Hello guys, welcome back to Car Obsession and welcome to another walk around. This time I'm joined by the brand new third generation Nissan Qashqai. As always, I will take you around the car, talk you through the specification and give you my first impressions. Now I will apologise in advance if I fluff up my lines. It is really cold today, that is messing with my head. Back onto the topic in mind, the Qashqai. Now love them or hate them, SUVs and crossovers are pretty much here to stay, and this car is the culprit. The Qashqai may not be the first ever SUV to be built, but it is the one that really captured the imagination of the automotive industry, and now every Tom, Dick and Harry is making them. Now I think the new Qashqai is a really good looking car. It's bold, striking, and I definitely think it has what it takes to stand out in your average supermarket car park. Now this car is built on the Nissan's CMF-C platform, and without getting too geeky, in essence it means this car will be more dynamic compared to its predecessors, and this platform has been built with electrification in mind. At present there's only a choice of one engine, which is a 1.3 litre turbocharged petrol, which you can either have with 140 horsepower or, in the case of this car, 158 horsepower. In the near future though, there will be the European debut of Nissan's e-Power, and that means this car will offer a hybrid powertrain. But it is a hybrid, but maybe not as you're expecting. It will of course have an electric motor as well as a battery, but the 1.5 litre petrol that it will also have will never be used to power the wheels. No, instead that will act as a generator for the battery. So quite innovative, I'm sure you'll agree. In regard to prices, the new Qashqai has a starting price just below £24,000, but I have the Tecna, which is around the middle of the range. The starting price would normally be £31,295, but because I have the more powerful engine, that is in fact £32,015. The car you see right here, right now, is a bit more though, because as an option I have the rather fetching magnetic blue paintwork with the pale black roof. So the car right here, right now is £33,160. The paintwork, in case you're wondering and in case you don't want to crack out your calculator, and that is £1,145. So quite pricey, I'm sure you'll agree. Now I may have mentioned it, I may have not, but another benefit I suppose of the new platform is, if desired, you can have 20-inch alloys. Now this car as standard has got 19 inches, and I would argue that is large enough, but if you do want your Qashqai to run on large alloys, yes, you can have 20 inches, but I would advise against that, because even these 19s make the ride a bit fidgety at lower speeds. I thought this car was actually a bit smaller compared to the old Qashqai, because I don't know, I think because where it's more trim, sharper, a bit more focused in its design, it looks a bit smaller, but it is in fact bigger. So it's 25mm taller, it is 35mm longer, the wheelbase is 20mm longer, and it is 32mm wider. And I think this is a very smart looking car. What do you get as standard? Well, on the Tecna you get LED lights both front and rear. Pardon me, the 19-inch alloys I've already mentioned, keyless entry, roof rails, tinted rear windows. I've got a hands-free power tailgate, which, let's see if it will work. It did. Oh, that was me, sorry. There we go. I may as well show you the boots whilst I'm here. So the old Qashqai offered 430 litres, which wasn't the biggest in class, but thankfully it has been improved for the new car. So normally you would get 504 litres, which is pretty good. It's pretty much up there in regards to the class leaders. We're not quite at the top. But this car's got the flexible luggage board system, so I will cut to a clip where you can see it. But because of this boot is a little bit smaller. It is 479 litres. You do have a 12-volt socket in here if needed, which is quite handy, and some hooks here if you wanted to hang up some shopping. And yes, you do have the flexible luggage board system as well as two kind of bins, one either side. You also get front and rear parking sensors, a reversing camera, and the 360-degree monitor. Now at this point, I'm bursting to get into the car because it'll be much warmer. Yes, it is so cold today. Oh man. Now it is a bit unorthodox, but I will actually put the engine on just so I can put on the heated seat and the steering wheel because I'm so cold. It's 5 degrees today. I don't know why I went a bit high pitched then. So, onto the interior. As you would expect, it is a nicer place to be compared to the old car, and it's much cleaner in here. Yes, you've still got a fair amount of buttons, but everything's all logical, it's ergonomic, well thought out, and above all, it is a cleaner place compared to the old car. The old car was a bit cluttered and a bit busy, particularly on the steering wheel where there's loads of buttons. Now, on this one, sorry, there we go, autofocus, you still have a few buttons on the steering wheel, but it's nowhere near as busy as previously. You may have spotted I've got a 12.3 inch digital display, which is new for the Qashqai, and that's quite pleasing to look at. And the touchscreen, that is 9 inches, and I've got DAB radio, Bluetooth, smartphone connectivity, and as you can see I've got navigation as well. I've got dual zone climate control, heated front seats, which on a day like today is a blessing. Heated steering wheel, which again is lovely to have. I've got a choice of 3 driving modes, so I've got a little toggle switch there, it says D mode. So I've got either standard, sport or eco. Quite self-explanatory. Got the Pro Pilot system, which has a fair amount of safety systems. For example, I've got adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist and so forth. Also got blind spot monitoring as well. Whilst I'm here, a little bit of knowledge for you. To help with visibility, the door mirrors have been moved from the A pillar onto the door. A little bit of facts for you there. Going back to the interior design, I really like it. It's definitely more upmarket than previously. I like this design touch here. It's quite classy, quite stylish. Got a bit of I think this is faux leather, but either way, again, it's a nice touch to have on the dash. And you've got a kind of brushed metal effect surrounding the gear lever, and you also have it on the doors as well. Quite smart, I'm sure you'll agree. So, is the interior of the new Qashqai a step above the old one? Yes, most definitely, but you would expect that. How often is it that a car manufacturer goes backwards? Doesn't happen very often. So yes, overall I'm quite pleased with the interior. Also get a wireless phone charging pad as standard. Let me speak about the practicality. The door bins are of a good size. I can fit in a 1 litre bottle with no issue, and I have a bit of space left over. I've mentioned the wireless phone charging pad already. In the middle I've got not 1 but 2 cup holders, but that's pretty standard fare nowadays. You do get a centre armrest for added comfort, and you've actually got two levers on here. The first lever, pull it up, and you get the tray in here. But if you don't need that, you want to get into the main area, you pull the bottom one, then you've got more storage in there, as well as 2 USB ports, a Type A and a Type C. It's a 12-volt socket just there as well. Now the glove box is a little bit disappointing because I would argue that's quite small. It is enough for a woolly hat and a pair of gloves like I'm wearing today because, like I've said, it's freezing. Have I mentioned that? But it should be big enough for your needs. You also get a panoramic roof as standard. It doesn't open sadly, but it's nice to have because it can let natural light cascade into the cabin, and you do have a blind if you require. Oh, annoyingly, you have to hold the button down So you can't just push it once and it does it for you. So for example, but it will go back by itself if you. So it's one touch back. Well, it's one touch back, but not one touch forward. But what? Now it's doing it. How weird. A minute ago it wouldn't do that. Well, anyway, you go back. I don't want or need you blind. It's a nice day, albeit cold. So let's let the sunlight flood into the cabin. Right, okie dokie. In regard to getting a good driving setup, that is easy. The steering wheel's got plenty of adjustment, very happy with that. And as standard, the driver's seat is electronically adjustable. So again, got no complaints there. Anything else to talk about in the front? No, I think we're pretty much good. So I will turn the engine off. So I don't need my heated seat on anymore. And I will move into the rear. The Qashqai is of course a family car, and parents, you'll be thrilled because for the new car, Nissan has made sure, oh, let me unlock the rear doors. There we go. Nissan has, there we go. Nissan has made sure that the rear doors open wider than before. So they are now open 85 degrees. So for example, getting children in or a child seat, there we go. I've got a great example there. Has been made easier, and I put the child seat in yesterday, and it was an absolute doddle. So Nissan, you've done really well there. Good thinking. Another bit of knowledge for you. The rear doors are now made of composite materials, so they have an overall saving of 2.6 kilograms. There we go. It's not much, but every little helps, as Tesco says. Other supermarkets are available. Now, as always, the driver's seat has been set for me. I'm 6'2", so I am, of course, a taller chap. But as you can see, the knee room I have is agreeable. I haven't got loads of it, but I've got enough. For the new model, the knee room has been improved by 28 millimetres, which makes it an overall of 608 millimetres. But yes, I would say not the best in class, but more than before. If I bring you down here, show you leg room. To be fair, legroom is pretty respectable, no complaints there. And even though this car has got a panoramic roof, headroom is not too bad either. So in case I haven't mentioned, I'm 6'2", but even so, I've got a decent amount of space in here. Could you fit 3 adults in here? No, I think it would be a bit too tight, particularly if you have a child seat fitted as well. If I had someone sat next to me right now, that wouldn't be much fun. In regard to practicality, the door bins are of a good size. You can fit in a bottle in there. I should be able to fit in that same 1 litre bottle. I reckon that would fit in. In fact, let me just quickly grab it. Sorry about that, I had to quickly grab the bottle. But yes, as you can see, the 1 litre bottle fits in there with no complaints. And if anything, you probably fit a large bottle in there. I've got a bit of room left over. You do, of course, get map pockets, and oh, you don't get a hook, actually. That's interesting. No, you don't get any hooks to hang any items of clothing up, so that's worth noting. In the middle down here, you've got vents for the climate control, as well as 2 more USB ports, another Type A and another Type C. In the middle, you do get an armrest for better comfort, and you do have 2 cup holders in them as well. Lovely stuff. Unlike the Ford Cougar I had a few weeks ago, I don't get heated seats in the rear, so that is a little bit disappointing, but hey, I'm not going to be sat in the back, I'm going to be sat in the driver's seat, so it doesn't bother me. Now, although the doors do open nice and wide, the only slight complaint I do have is that the wheel arch does protrude a bit into the aperture of the door. Does it make it hard to get out? For me, no, but some people may struggle. But even so, the opening to get into the rear is pretty good. Right, I've spoken about the boot, haven't I? So don't need to worry about that. Let me move things on to the engine, which means standing outside. so I'm about to freeze to death. Oh, God, it's so cold. Whose idea was this? Right, let's get the bonnet up. So yes, as I mentioned, this is powered by a 1.3 litre petrol, which offers 158 horsepower, along with 260 newton meters of torque. Now, I will speak about performance in a few moments, but I'm sure many of you aren't too fussed. In regard to fuel economy, on a combined run, Nissan states you can expect up to 44.1 mpg, and when it comes to CO2 emissions, this emits 145 grams per kilometre, meaning for the first year of VED, you'll be required to pay £220. Now, in case you are concerned about performance, this will hit 62 miles per hour in 9.5 seconds, and the top speed is 128 miles per hour. This engine is mated to a 6-speed manual, but you can have the Xtronic if you prefer, which is Nissan's CVT. This is front-wheel drive, but you can have a 4-wheel drive version as well. Now, if you go for a model with the 20-inch alloys or 4-wheel drive, you do get multi-link rear suspension, but I don't have either of those, therefore I have a torsion rear beam. But it has been improved to give better comfort. Right. Oh my word, it's windy. Oh. Well, I'm actually going to go back into the car because I'm literally shivering. Oh God, so cold. Oh, let's turn that ignition back on. So compared to the last car, the body shell is actually 60 kilograms lighter, and it's almost 50% stiffer as well. Now, the weight saving is negated a bit because this car has got a mild hybrid system, and that system weighs 22 kilograms, but not a massive increase in weight, I'm sure you'll agree. Oh man, it's so cold. Right, thinking if there's anything else that I need to go through with you. I think that's quite a bit. There's a few other facts about the car which I will probably include in the main review. But until then, I'm gonna close the video here because, yeah, I need to warm up. Do hope you have enjoyed this video or found it useful. If you've got any questions or queries, be sure to drop them in the comment section below. But yes, if you have enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like, comment and subscribe. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. But until the next time, guys, be sure to keep up the car obsession.